a preview for tonight's show. So let me see if I can just hunt that down. Because I did get tagged, I think, in a preview. There's Tubi. I've got Tubi. Oh, hello. Rivals is now on Tubi. I haven't seen that before. So it looks like Rivals is now on Tubi. WWE Rivals. Okay, let's have a look, shall we? Twitter is where I want to go. Let's go Twitter and see if we can find this lineup for tonight. I seem to remember that we've got Kendal Gray and Kylie Armstrong, and that they are doing a contract signing tonight, because it's not this week that is the Succession show. I believe that it is going to be next week. So with Keanu Carver not medically cleared after the attack last week, we're going to find out who is going to face Jackson Drake at Evolve Succession. Well, that's exciting. So it seems like we've actually going to get a bit of an interesting development where we're going to have a replacement for Jackson Drake. I wasn't expecting that. So we've got a replacement for Jackson Drake. Not for Jackson Drake, sorry, for... let me close that there. Lovely. We've got a replacement for Keanu Carver to face Jackson Drake. So that's interesting. Also, we have got it's Gall against Dante Chen. So we've got that. We got Kendal Gray, Kylie Armstrong in a face-off tonight as well. But here we should be able to jump over and have a look and have a listen from Mr. Stone. So let's do that. That seems like a logical way forward, doesn't it? Here we go.
WWE Evolve Tubi teaser. Rob, you can feel it in the air. We are just 1 week away from the biggest show in Evolve history, Succession, coming down next Wednesday on Tubi. We already know huge women's title main event. Kylie Armstrong defending her Evolve Women's Championship against Kendal Gray. And tonight, the final opportunity for champion and challenger to come face to face. And last week, Keanu Carver pinned Brooks Jensen to make him the
they are
#1 contender for Jackson Drake's Evolve Championship. Tonight, no doubt about, he wants to put pen to paper to make that officially official.
Well, I don't really want to be playing that because I don't know if that music is copyright free or not. So, not a huge fan of them adding the music in the background. But, okay. Well, that's disappointing, isn't it? That's frustrating. I have no idea if I can use that or not. So what we do have is this, though. So Keanu Carver is going to be replaced. We're going to find out who by. Kendal Gray, Kylie Armstrong are going to be facing off tonight, obviously ahead of next week's Succession. And it's Gall takes on Dante Chen. So there we go. That's a little bit of a preview of tonight's show. So hopefully it's going to be good. Looking forward to... I always look forward to it. Might be a few extra people around, actually, because there is no AEW tonight, I don't believe. So there might even be a few extra people around. Hello, 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 if so. Right, let's have a look and jump in the chat, shall we? So, Asib said, what are the thoughts on the creative teams being shaken up to make the shows more enjoyable? Road Dogg's going to remain head of creative. Well, it's good, isn't it? I mean, my thoughts on it are that this is exactly what we needed to do. I got to admit, sometimes we do. I mean, we stream a lot, don't we? We do every Monday, we do every Friday, we do Tuesday, we do Wednesday. And, I think it's one of those where when it's good, I would like to think we praise it. And when it's bad, obviously we're critical. And the problem is that with it being not a great year this year, I feel like we have been quite critical this year, and I don't think that's unfair, because I think if it's below par, if it's below expectation, if it's underwhelming, if there is frustration in the community, I have to reflect that. I have to be honest about that, right? We have to have conversations about that. So for me, I don't feel like it's unfair. I don't feel like, the things we say are unfair. But it does kind of get to a situation where you're like, I don't like moaning all the time. I don't like, sitting here and kind of complaining all the time. I don't really like that. So for me, I kind of look at it as like, I wish we could be more positive. I do feel that way. But then when you hear news like today, it does sort of bring some confirmation. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden you do go, do you know what? We weren't wrong to be saying what we've been saying. So many times people get in touch, and I do get it all the time. People going, why are you always so negative? Why do you always criticize the product? I thought you was meant to be a WWE fan. Are you actually just an AEW fan in disguise? You do get those things. You do get that kind of feedback. You see it in the comments. You see it on social media. You see it like everywhere, right? I've kind of learnt to just shut that stuff out, to be honest, because for me, I put a real high price on being honest. I really believe in that. I really believe, like, what's the point in having a platform like this if you can't use it to say how you really feel and what you want to say? I mean, if you're not going to do that, don't have the platform, right? Well, you're just wasting everyone's time. So when you actually hear that they have made changes to the creative teams because they want to make the shows better, they want to make them more engaging, I must admit, my first thought is good. I'm really pleased to hear that because we all want the shows to be better. But my first thought is also that just brings, validity to everything we've said. I don't feel like all those comments of people saying, why are you always so down? It's not as bad as you say and all this kind of stuff. You kind of look at that and go, well, do you know what? They feel like they need to make a change. I can see the ratings going down. I can see the fan investment struggling. I mean, I've just spoke to people on the member stream where, like Mosey was saying, really been struggling this year as well. And far from being alone. I mean, I've had lots of people get in touch saying that this year has been a struggle. So for me, I from a selfish point of view, it kind of feels like they are bringing validity to everything we've kind of been saying throughout the year, which is great. But also, I suppose, bigger than that, it is what the shows needs. I mean, creative has just been rubbish this year, hasn't it? It's just been rubbish this year. It's been really, flat and uninteresting and uninspiring and safe and comfortable. And I feel like we've said that a lot. So to find out that they're now going to change those creative teams, brilliant. I don't know about Road Dogg being the leader. I mean, I don't know. Individually, I don't know what they contribute. So I don't know. I don't know where the problems are. So I can't say that's good or bad because I don't know. He might be great. He might be brilliant. I don't know. I can't go on to an individual basis because I'm not in the room. But what I do know is that it's too safe. It's too comfortable. It's not thrilling enough. It's not attention grabbing enough. It's too slow. It's too plodding. I don't mind Triple H taking the approach, but it's too far in that direction. He needs to bring it kind of back the other way a little bit. So that's my thoughts on it. I think Travis Scott, Jelly Roll, and the year of Cena with the failed heel turn, there was just too many bad cogs in the machine to have a year like previous. And the wishy-washy rock input, says Akeem. James, hello, said, did you see that Santos has signed? I did. I'm actually quite pleased. I like him. I said when he got released that it was a shame. I'm not a big fan. I'm not like a stan or anything like that, but I have always liked his matches. I mean, I'm not a crazy fan about his matches when he's in a tag team, but actually I sort of feel like there's a bit of an Andrade in there. Give him the right platform. If you was to do Santos against Sammy, that match is going to bang. It's going to bang. It's going to be great. I've no doubt about that. Just like if you did Andrade against Sammy, or if you did Santos against Gunther, the match is going to be great. I do see Santos as a good in-ring competitor, just like I see Andrade as a good in-ring competitor. The barrier, the problem, is they've got to have the right creative, and you've got to invest in them. And if you can do that, then you could get somewhere. So him going was disappointing because I felt like a wasted opportunity. Wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like, oh my God, WWE are dead now or anything like that. But yeah, no, I'm pleased to hear that he's re-signed. I'm pleased to hear that he's re-signed. I just hope that they've got the creative to back up the contract. It's all well and good giving him a contract, but, you know, have they sold him on a story? Have they told him some creative they're going to do? You know, has that convinced him to sign? I don't know the details, but yeah, I did hear that, and I was pleased to see that he was coming back, but we need the right creative to get the most out of him. Glockness said, are you excited for the return of the year, Santos Escobar? Again, as long as we've got creative to back up the contracts, I think you can get some out of him, yes. I mean, I don't know what other people are saying. I don't know if other people are saying we shouldn't have bothered. You know, he's rubbish. He doesn't bring anything to the table. I don't know. I mean, I think I put quite a lot of blame on creative. And I don't apologize for that, because I do put myself in the wrestler's shoes, and I do try to look at what they've been given to work with. And if I look at Santos, I mean, what has he been given to work with? I can't remember him. I can't even remember what feuds he's had. I mean, that whole LWO Legado stuff has been throwaway. It's been rubbish. I've really hated it. I really don't like it at all. So for me, that stuff has been, you know, rubbish. I really have not been a fan. So I think that he needs to have a good feud with someone, a good heel. I mean, Santos against Damian Priest could be really interesting, because I feel like Damian needs a feud, and I feel like Santos needs a feud, and I feel like Santos can be the heel, Damian can be the face. They both are trying to prove themselves. They're both kind of lacking momentum. And so I would be tempted to put them in a feud, make that an interest, just see where we end up. Because both of those are wrestlers that I don't think people really care about. But if you could get that feud to be a feud that people care about, then you could actually have benefits to both wrestlers. Both wrestlers could come out of that feud better than when they went into it. So I'd be, you know, looking at something like that. Let's see. And I'd be hopeful the matches would be good. It'd be a great opportunity for Santos to show what he could do. I'd keep them away from PLEs, because I don't think they're exciting enough. I don't think people are really that bothered by that feud. It would be just one of those kind of low-level SmackDown feuds. The kind of thing that, you know, you do the match. But, you know, I'd want some good backstage segments. I'd want some good promos. I'd do maybe a sit-down interview with them, split screen or something like that, you know. And, yeah, I'd try and really dig into something there. I think that is more exciting than just Santos being in a Legado faction that just achieved nothing, you know. And I would really try and get something out of that feud, I think so. Yeah, no, I'm interested. I think there's ways forwards. I'm definitely down for seeing what he brings to the party. Hannah said, if you combine Andrade's wrestling, his look, and Santos's ability to speak English and his cunning attitude, you might get the best Mexican talent to take WWE to new heights. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. I think that his ability to speak English is a big positive, but I also think he is good in ring. You could be correct that Andrade is better. You could be correct on that. But I do think Santos is someone that you don't want to lose, really, because I think they positioned him as the leader of Legado down in NXT, and he had some singles matches, and they were quite good. And as a leader, he was quite interesting. And so I think that there's something there. I don't look at him the same way I look at like Wacky and Wild or Cruz del Toro or Angel or Berto. Like, those guys have never really shown much. Their potential, but they've never really shown much. Whereas I've seen more from Santos Escobar, largely in NXT. But, you know, he was good as the leader of Legado in NXT. It just didn't translate to the main roster. And, of course, very quickly we took away Wild and Del Toro, and we gave him Angel and Berto. I don't really know why we did that. I don't know what the logic was there or what the thinking was. But, I mean, it just did not work. And I'm ready for him to just go out on his own, honestly. I'm ready for him to try and just forge his own way forward. So I do think that we've got a lucha problem, though. I mean, Dragon Lee is not very interesting. Angel, Berto, Cruz del Toro, Rey Fenix, Andrade's just gone. Santos almost went. I mean, we just cannot book these luchador wrestlers. We just cannot seem to make them interesting. So, yeah, bringing him back's great. Giving him a contract's great. But I hope you've got the creative and the potential opponents and the storylines and all of that to back it up. And to be honest, someone like Santos, he's going to need some feuds before he's ready for a mid-card run. I wouldn't put a mid-card belt on him. I think... one of the hardest things to book is low-level feuds because there's no belt involved. You've got to make it a personal issue, and you've got to find a way of making it interesting. I mean, if you've got a belt involved, that massively helps because there's a title on the line. But if there's no title on the line, you've got to really build it up and make it interesting. And I think, we're going to need some of those for Santos in the early stages, then get him to a mid-card title. And then take it from there. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with him. I'm really interested to see what they do with him. Hopefully there is a plan. I know it didn't go well last year, me saying this, here we go. But I feel 2026 could be a great creative year. I feel a slow turnaround recently. Aaron, hello, shout out to you. I agree. I'm with you. But I mean, I think it was fair to say that this year creatively was going to be interesting because we knew that we had John Cena's retirement year. So it kind of felt like there's no way you're going to botch that, right? John Cena's final year. I mean, fair play. They swung for the fences, didn't they? Actually, we talk about them being safe and comfortable and slow and, boring. But actually, the irony is that when it came to John Cena's heel run, that's not what they did. I mean, they actually swung for the fences and went big by turning him heel and then running with heel Cena. And that wasn't safe. That wasn't comfortable. So the irony is that when it comes to the biggest storyline of the year, the biggest thing this year, they actually did the exact opposite of what they've been doing on Raw and SmackDown. So Raw and SmackDown has been safe, comfortable, the slippers have been on. But when it comes to John Cena and that story, they did the complete opposite. And, I mean, it is amazing how they managed to get both things wrong. It is amazing how if you'd have just switched that the other way round, I am a firm believer the results would have been better. If you'd have made Raw and SmackDown, not as safe, a bit edgier, took a few risks, I think that would have improved the shows. And then with Cena, if you'd have just played it a bit straighter and, kind of been a bit more comfortable with it, just do the farewell tour. He goes around, him and the fans, loads of energy, not done the heel thing. I think that would have been better as well. So, yeah, it is pretty crazy, actually, when you think about it that way. So I agree with you. I went into this year thinking, man, we've got Punk, going to have a full year of Punk. We've got, obviously, Cody around. We might get The Rock. We got Cena's last year. Yeah, I went into it with optimism. So I was right with you. But obviously, we know that too many mistakes were made. I mean, it's as simple as that. Too much stuff didn't land. Too many mistakes were made. And as a result, we can sit here with a plethora of things that we would retrospectively change. But can they get it right first time more often in 2026? If they are tweaking the creative teams and we are seeing improvements, then once again there is reason to get optimistic again. So yeah, we'll have to see. It is concerning at the moment, honestly. And it is concerning. I did that video, the unseen video, where I was talking about the ratings, and I genuinely couldn't find a way of ending that segment with a positive. I was just like, I just don't see one. I mean, SmackDown doing 1 million, and that was it. I know that it's the new ratings, and I know if under the old system it might have been 1.2 or something like that, but even that is so far away from last year when we were doing over 2 million on Fox. Now we're doing like 1.2, and actually under the new system, like 1 million. 1 million. If we lose another 40,000 viewers, just 40,000, right? That's not loads. 40,000. SmackDown would go underneath 1 million for a normal show. For a normal episodes, it would dip under 1 million. And if it dips under 1 million, that is a real milestone. That is a real red flag, honestly. And it's crazy because you go back, before the pandemic, go back to like the mid 2010s, we're at like 2.5, 3 million. 2.5, 3 million. And all the ratings have done are just decline. And it's not even WWE's fault, because part of that is obviously the growth of YouTube and all the alternatives. So, I mean, I don't want to say that it's only wrestling. It isn't. SmackDown, unbelievably, was still the 4th best rated show, even though it only did 1 million on Friday. But, I mean, it's really hard to find a way of spinning that as anything good or positive. It's just, 1 million people. I mean, there's 300 and some million people in America. 350 million, is it? 1 million tuned in and watched SmackDown on Friday. That was it. 1 million. Do you know what I mean? It's just hard to kind of find the positivity in that. And, yeah, don't know. I'd love to know some of the conversations that are happening at head office right now. Masterback, shout out to you. Said, if you buy a bed, you gain a bedroom, but you lose bedroom. If you buy a bed, you gain bedroom, but you lose bedroom. That is thought provoking, Masterbat. Thank you. I will digest that mentally. I'm going to run that through my brain and try and see how it relates to it. I think it's one of the most profound things that's ever been said. I just don't know what it means or how it fits to wrestling, but I will make that connection. And when I do, it'll probably be like during Evolve. I'll be like, and then the penny will drop. Hannah said, I'll probably say the opposite. I'll say WWE will play it safe in 2026. I remember when we thought that this year was going to be one of the greatest, but we were off with it. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I do want to stay optimistic because, well, what the alternative is to be like pessimistic, and there's not really much joy to be found there. So I'd rather stay optimistic. And whilst I can genuinely see reasons to be optimistic, I feel a bit more comfortable staying optimistic. So that's my mindset. My mindset is that it does feel like right now is one of the strongest parts of the year. I feel like we're all pretty excited for Cody Seth, even though it's for a nothing belt. They've done a great job of building that. Asuka, Kylie, brilliant. Love it. Jimmy, Jay, Roman, brilliant. Love it. Sammy, open challenge, amazing. Love it. I can find reasons as to why right now is about as good as 2025 has been all year. So, considering this is October and we're just a few months away from starting WrestleMania season, then I'm going to start getting pretty excited then, yeah. Because, once we get to WrestleMania season, I think this year's WrestleMania season was flat, and Triple H knows it. Do you remember when he came out after Elimination Chamber, and he was like, does it still feel like it's not WrestleMania season? That he had that kind of, do you know what I mean? He came into that press conference with his balls swinging. Yeah. He had these big balls that were swinging away, right? He came into the press conference, sat down, got on the microphone, and looked in the camera and went, oh, does it feel like WrestleMania season now? Yeah. And I remember instantly looking at the camera and responding to Triple H and Triple H's big balls by saying, yeah, well done. You're about a month late. Yeah. We should have been doing this stuff a month ago. We've just watched 4 weeks of Raw and SmackDown that was mid. So take your balls. Yeah. Your big swinging balls. Right. And you can do one. Because if you want to come walking into a room, right, going, guys, yeah, does it feel like WrestleMania says, yeah, well done. You're late. You're late. Right. You don't get praise for that. Someone doesn't turn up to work flipping 10 minutes late with their big swinging balls coming into the room and get to go, guys, guess who's here now, right? It's like, yeah, well, guess who should have been here, at least 10 minutes ago, yeah? It's you. So you can take that attitude straight out of the room, right? And then what did he do after that? What happened after that? What happened after Elimination Chamber? Pretty much nothing. It went back to being mid. So he definitely knows that this year's WrestleMania build was not well received, because I saw his big swinging balls when he walked into the room and that attitude that he had, right? So he knows that it was mid. So that means that hopefully we're going to have some, hopefully it means we're going to have some improvements next year. Hopefully he isn't the problem. I don't think he is, because NXT Black and Gold was so good under his watch. I don't think that he's the problem, because why was Black and Gold so good yet this, main roster has been flat this year? I don't think it's Triple H. I think he can only work with what's kind of being presented to him. I think, shaking up those creative teams, much, much needed. Seeb said, what do we think will be the story for 2026? What do we think will be the headline for Mania season? I don't know, do I? I mean, I'd just be guessing. I mean, I think you've got to look at your top end. I think Gunther, after retiring Cena, is going to be on a great run, great momentum. Sammy winning the Rumble feels like it could be there or thereabouts. Io has shown herself to be a massive star. I think she will be there or thereabouts. Liv Morgan will probably be back as well. Obviously, Punk in the mix, Roman in the mix, Seth and the Vision in the mix. So, I mean, it's just about trying to make some sort of story card out of all of those ingredients, but how they actually kind of piece them together, I have no idea. I mean, Seth against Sammy is a possibility. Cody against Gunther is a possibility. What you do with CM Punk, I'm not sure. Whether he gets inserted into a triple threat or we find a different feud for him to get his teeth into. I mean, I wouldn't be down on CM Punk Roman, Gunther Cody, Sammy Seth. I wouldn't be down on those 3 matches. I think all of those make sense. I mean, if you remember how many views Roman Punk got when Roman stopped Punk leaving the Survivor Series cage last year, that did like 100 and some odd million views. I mean, it's very clear that those are 2 massive names, and actually, putting them up against each other, I think this is probably the best time to do it, because yes, it is face versus face, and that might not be the preference, but yes, we've done it before. And actually, I think everyone's already made their mind up as to how they feel about both guys now. I mean, you are either Team Punk or you are Team Roman. And, I think sometimes, like with Cody, I'm not a big fan, actually, of him being put in those situations, because I feel like there's a lot of criticism around Cody for not having a good title run, which I think is fair. The only thing I disagree with people on is who is to blame. Is it Cody that's to blame, or is it creative that's to blame? And what I am desperate to see is Cody just given a fair shot. Just put him in there with a monster heel. Like, again, we spoke yesterday about his SummerSlam and how bonkers it was, him going up against John, a John that had turned babyface just the day before. How crazy it was putting Cody in there with John as John was trying to get number 17. And even though you turned John heel, the crowd was still on John's side. Like, neither of those are the two big shows this year. Neither of those have been fair to Cody. You've put the odds against him twice. So those are the two biggest shows this year. Cody last year was going up against Solo in a mid-nothing match that people didn't care about. Solo was not the monster heel that Cody needed, right? That was just not good enough. It was not big enough. Really, that was just a match to bring Roman back. That was it. And then at WrestleMania 40, he wins the belt. So if you look at the last 4 of the SummerSlam WrestleMania cards, I can't find a single one other than 40 where he wins it that I could honestly say we have given him a shot. We have given him a chance to get in there and tell a story against a monster heel. So, I do worry about, say, Cody against Punk. I would worry that, that's just not what Cody needs right now. But I think Roman Punk is different. Roman is one of the biggest stars of all time. Punk is one of the biggest stars of all time. I feel like everyone has made a decision as to how they feel about these two. I think you just pick your side. That's it. And I don't think that either of them necessarily need anything. If Punk didn't get another title run, it wouldn't be the end of the world. He could do with one, but if he didn't, well, whatever. I think everyone's made their mind up about him. Roman, if he doesn't get one, it's not the end of the world. He just had one of the greatest title runs of all time. So actually, I feel like both of these guys are not really in need of anything. Whereas I do think Cody needs a good title run after getting to it last year at WrestleMania. So I don't like messing around with face versus face for certain people, but actually CM Punk Roman I feel a bit different about for the reasons I just explained. Then, of course, I just said Cody needs a monster heel. Who's one of the biggest heels? We've got Gunther. Gunther with momentum after beating Cena makes all the sense in the world to me. I can totally be down for that. And then if Sammy does win the Rumble, then Sammy against Seth, I think makes a lot of sense as well. So I would be down for all of those. EO Liv is in my brain because I'm thinking Liv comes back at the Rumble, maybe wins it. We've already done Liv Rhea, but Liv EO I would be down for because I think EO is the best in-ring competitor right now. Liv winning the Rumble, Liv EO would be where we would end up. Obviously, you got Stephanie in the mix. I would not have Tiffany in a big match next year. I think she's still a green. I think Tiffany did a great job in NXT of showing everything she knew, but the problem is, that's it. What you see is what you get with Tiffany, and I don't think there's much more in reserve. I think that she's been in the business for not the longest of time, and even though she's picked it up really quickly, I think the bag of tricks is empty, and I think the more that we're making her do things and putting her in different situations, the more she is showing she is green. She is not a well-rounded, experienced performer because she is not a well-rounded, experienced performer. And as we said, as we keep putting her in different matches, different situations, it's showing. So I would not have her in the mix for next year top end. So I don't know if it's Stephanie. I don't know if there's going to be a shake-up. I don't know if there's going to be a draft. Obviously, you're going to need to get Julia up there as well. Rhea's going to have to be up there. So, yeah, lots of pieces, lots of moving parts. Brony said Roman has got haters as well. It's not just Cody. Roman, Punk, IWC are going to trash Roman like they always do. Cody would be booed against Punk. Yes. Is that why you wouldn't do the feud? Yes. Cody needs to be built. He needs to have a run. He needs to go against heels. He needs to get momentum. I think there was a lot of goodwill for Cody after he finished his story because people loved that. And I remember seeing content creators, right, doing shorts that were just on my feed and they were like, guys, you don't want Cody winning at WrestleMania 40 because it's all going to be downhill after that. And I remember watching those, and I remember disagreeing because my point was, that is such a defeatist attitude. Do you know what I mean? Like, that to me is just, that's backwards. The challenge is to do the hard thing and do it well. That's the challenge, right? That's what you got to do in creative. Give me the hardest situation you've got. Let's book it. Let's make it work. Let's find a way of making it work. I think there's too many shortcuts. There's too many people looking for quick wins and easy ways out. And for me, like with Cody, he should finish his story, and then we should embrace the difficult task. And the difficult task is following up on him finishing his story. You've just told this massive story, which just took his whole life for him to finish. Now he's got the belt. Now it's going to be a challenge. Yes, they were correct, but they were also wrong in saying that we should not give him the belt for that reason. You're running away. You're basically saying that you can't book. You're basically saying that you are not good enough to book a follow-up. I would not say that. I would say, give me the challenge. Let me get my teeth into it. I'll make it work, or at least I'll give it a damn good go. So for me, finishing the story was the right thing to do. But yes, it was going to then present a difficult challenge. And unfortunately, they did not have a good follow-up. And so we've now ended up with a lot of that goodwill, a lot of that enthusiasm for Cody. We've ended up with that now turning into negativity online and also turning into stalled momentum. And he's still got the wider fan base. I mean, the kids dress up at him. His merch still sells. He's always amongst the best sellers. All of that is goods, right? So there's no concerns in that regard. But as Brony said rightfully, the IWC have largely agreed that, they're not keen on him, which, is fine considering how mid the run has been. But this is why you've got to make sure that you give him monster heels that can build his momentum, get him to reconnect with the crowd, tell some good stories, get involved in some good creative, and, move forward. So, yeah, I mean, again, if you give him someone like CM Punk, it's just another example of what I've been saying, which is you're just screwing Cody over again, just like they did when they put him in against Cena at SummerSlam, and they made Cena babyface, just like they did when they put him with Cena at WrestleMania. And even though Cena was a heel, no one wanted to boo him. These are all bad situations for Cody. If you put him in there with CM Punk, it's another bad situation for Cody. You are just not giving him, you're not giving him oxygen. You're not letting him breathe. You're not giving him what he needs. He needs oxygen. He needs to face monster heels. Wrestling is so simple. Yet, for some reason, it keeps getting made so complicated. You've got a monster babyface that the kids love. Give him monster heels. But you look around and you go, where are they? That's part of the problem, isn't it? Where are they? So this is why, for me, Gunther, Cody, really good builds. Main event of WrestleMania. Gunther coming off retiring Cena. I can go with that. I can buy that. I think that The Rock would obviously be better, but I don't know that The Rock's going to be available. If The Rock's available, Cody Rock, no-brainer, right? CM Punk, Roman, I think we can do that. As I said, I think people know where they are. They can pick sides on that. Neither needs to worry about really needing anything like Cody does. And then, as we said, Seth and Sammy. I'm definitely down for that as well. Steve said, I'm hoping that this creative shuffle is going to keep things fresh. I feel like stories are starting to be a driver again. WWE knows that things need to change. Who next for Cody after Seth? And who for Seth? Well, I want Seth and Punk to move away from each other. I know that, but they need to have a singles match with the title on the line. So it would be good actually to do Seth Punk for the title. Maybe Hell in a Cell. No outside interference. Like, make sure the Vision are locked out. And, this is, if Punk doesn't win, he can't challenge for the title while Seth's champion. And do a stipulation like that. And, let's end this. And I think that match would be pretty well received, honestly. I mean, if you think how good the Punk Drew Hell in a Cell was last year, it makes sense for him to do that again, but only this time with Seth and with a title on the line and the Vision being locked out and, all of that. So I don't mind that. But then once we've done that, I'd probably have Seth win. And then that's it. You can't challenge for it while Seth's got the belt. So then Punk's going to need to move on to someone else. Seth, as we said, there's a few people that he can kind of feud with. There's certainly enough people that are upset with the Vision. But ultimately, I think Seth will probably end up with the Rumble winner. Probably. Although Gunther could win the Rumble and then pick Cody, of course. It's just so many different ways forward, isn't there? Wrestle Andy said, Daze, I remember saying at the time that Cody should have turned heel the night after Mania and then started a faction, said Wrestle with Andy. Big Time said, Daze, wrestling has got so many layers and flexibility. Cody can be interesting, but when the extent of the creative's brain power is promos and matches and call it a day, that's where it's wrong. I agree. I just don't think there's any... creative. You're right. I mean, there's just burn down his bus. Do you know what I mean? Do something with Brandy. Trash a car, or I don't know, like do something. I really think, creative, it'd be good for them to sit down and just write down 200, use AI. Right? Write down 200 things that you can do that have got nothing to do with like a promo or a match. So, do you remember when Kevin Owens was looking for Braun? I don't know if you remember this, but Kevin was looking for Braun, and he went backstage and he opened up like a porta potty thing. One of those portables to see if Braun was in there. Braun pushed him from behind, slammed the door, and immediately wrapped the porta potty with some sort of strap, right? And so that meant that Kevin was stuck inside this porta potty. And then Strowman, being as strong as what he is, he grabbed the cable, started pulling it into the arena, dragged it all the way to the entrance stage, and then pushed it off the entrance stage. And when they opened the door, all that kind of chemical stuff that was in the toilet, I mean, it was all over Kevin Owens. He was absolutely drenched in that kind of blue chemical stuff that cleans the toilets. And so he was absolutely drenched. And so when he emerged, he was covered. And it's like, that's not a promo. That's not a match. But that was something that we did. You can argue that it's not the greatest thing we've ever done, right? But you know what? It was something. And people were talking about it. And people were sharing the clips about it. And it was something different. And I feel like if you was to jot down like 200 of those, just ideas, lose 50%, which are the worst 50%, you've still got 100. I mean, there's only 52 weeks of Raw in a year, right? That means if you was to do 50 a year, which would be a quarter of what you've come up with, right? Which would be the best of what you've come up with, the best quarter. You could do one every week on Raw. And that means you could put one into a different view. And you don't even need to do that many, right? Because, it might get a bit like, oh, what they're going to do this week. Even if you just did something every few weeks. I mean, if you did something every few weeks, you'd need 25 moments like that just to drop into the various different feuds. Again, if you came up with 200s, you're looking at that being around 10% now. All of a sudden, you're getting closer to it being 10% of the 200 you came up with. That means 90% of the ideas you came up with, you can just throw in the bin. But just the top 10% you could use. And you just, every other week, you'd have something on Raw. to me, like, this is where we're lacking. Where is that kind of, you know, like, you remember when Bronson did a tsunami on Braun on top of the car? Brilliant. Yes. That's great. Love it. You know, I'll take that. So, you know, those kind of things, let's get some more of that going. But, I mean, it's just hard, isn't it, to see where we're kind of coming up with these things, or where these things, I can't really think back to this year. We tried to do something with Alexa and Charlotte, when wasn't it like someone's birthday, Alexa's birthday maybe? Oh no, Charlotte's birthday. And I think, didn't Alexa get Charlotte that Charlee doll? It's like, that's the kind of thing I want to see them try. But you know, the 90% of ideas that should get thrown away, that was one that should have got thrown away. Right? I'm glad you did something that wasn't just a promo or a match. Well done. But what you did was mid, right? But well done. Yeah, I'll still applaud it. I'll still say well done for it not being a promo and a match. You're still going down the right path. You just didn't find the right segment. So, you know, that could have been a lot better, a lot stronger. That could have been something really, really good. Instead, it was just dolls, to be honest. I do have to remind myself, though, not everything is for me. There might have been some people that love that segment, but hey-ho. WWE should have about 5 normal people, die-hard wrestling fans with knowledge. I think that might help. What do you think, said Long Beach Hippie? I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think that that would be useful. I think that it's interesting because they hire these drama writers, these Hollywood writers, but I think someone being in there that really has an in-depth knowledge of where we've been and stories that have worked, and I think if you hire someone from Hollywood, they can write stories, but do they know what wrestling fans are looking for? Do they know what's worked in the past? I mean, I'd like to think part of the job is to go and do some research. I'd like to think that if you get that job, you go home and you just start, you know what I mean, flipping, cramming previous wrestling stuff, you know. But yeah, I don't hate the idea of there being someone in there. But I suppose with Triple H leading the charge, Heyman dropping in every now and again. He's not there all the time, but he jumps in once in a while. Some of the writers have been around for quite a while as well, so of course they will have built up a bit of knowledge. So, I don't know, part of me thinks, yes, I do agree, but then part of me thinks a lot of those writers probably should know by now what we've done and have been around for a while anyway. Plus also, I think like Road Dogg is the lead writer of SmackDown. So, you know, Road Dogg certainly knows his wrestling history, has been a part of a lot of it. So, you know, you think about New Age Outlaws and you think about DX and you think about like all the stuff he has contributed. You'd kind of think that he would know what would work and what wouldn't work. So, I don't know. It's very difficult to sit here and say what they need to do within that creative room because I don't know what they're doing. So it makes it hard to say what they should do. I can only say what I would do. And what I would do is I would sit down and I would write down a list of things that I feel are missing, like those extra, like matches, promos. Kind of don't worry too much about those. I kind of feel like that is the bulk of the work, and I think that's where the big focus has been. But the problem is that's your bread and butter. That's the stuff you have to deliver anyway, and it's just hard for that to really be the stuff that's going to bring viewers in. I sort of feel like you need the storylines, you need some of those OMG moments, like that's the stuff that can really grab attention. It's, you know, like matches, fine. Promos, of course you can make them interesting. But I sort of feel like there's this third aspect that's really missing and has been missing in 2025. And I'd like to see them trying to fix that. But, I mean, honestly, I don't think the match quality has been good enough this year either. I think that's something that needs to be looked at as well. I think there's too many times where we score matches and they're just good on Raw and SmackDown. And I think that's also a room for concern. I mean, if the matches were like really good and really captivating, that would help things drastically. So I think it's really, really difficult. I'd love to get more of an insight in that creative room. I really have very little doubt that as a community we could not come up with better shows. I know that like it's harder than it seems. I really do understand that. I do understand that wrestlers get injured. I do understand that, you could have like all these great ideas. Once you've done them, what have you got next? I mean, you might have like 6 months, a year of great ideas. Well, what are you going to be contributing in 2 years' time? Once all of your ideas have been exhausted, can you keep generating new, exciting ideas? Are you a never-ending fountain of originality? Yeah? Can you give the public what they're looking for? And that's hard, isn't it? I mean, it is hard, but I feel like that's the challenge. I feel like it can be done. It has been done. But they just have not quite cracked it in 2025, so... I don't know. I enjoy these conversations. I like digging into creative. I think, when we talk about like ratings, it's important because obviously that's how they get the new TV deals. But I don't really find myself like really enjoying those conversations. They're not a necessary evil, but that's not why we get into wrestling, right? Don't get into wrestling because of how many people are watching, right? So we have those chats quite a bit, or ticket prices. Not massively into those conversations, but we have them because we have to have them. Certainly not into like the Vince conversations and all the stuff that's gone on there. You don't get into wrestling for that. But actually, I really enjoyed the creative conversations. I think they're really interesting. We probably need to have more conversations about the actual wrestlers and things like that. But yeah, we just go wherever the conversation goes, don't we? Akeem said, I wonder if the CM Punk charm bracelet war withdrew. I wonder who was to blame for that. Do you know, it's weird because I would not have done that. Or if I would have done it, I would have done it very differently. One of my big frustrations was that as soon as that bracelet was stolen, I had no idea what it was, where it had come from. I was trying to think back if it was something that had been referenced in the past. I think the fact that no, it hadn't. It was literally just a bracelet that a fan had given him, and we were meant to know that it mattered, even though we'd done nothing in advance to set that up. And the fact that it was a bracelet that just a fan had... I mean, why was it that? He gets so many AJ Lee, Larry bracelets. I mean, you see all the time the wrestlers after meet and greets have just got stacks of them. So why was that one so important? What made that? I mean, we never got the answer to that. Never got the answer to that. I mean, I personally would have preferred it to have been a picture in the locker room, CM Punk's locker room, a personal picture that he took that was of AJ and Larry. And that's like, you can see that he's carried it around with him and it's important to him. I would have much preferred that we'd have based it on that. I don't mind an object being the foundation for a feud. My problem was you didn't do anything to tell me that mattered. I only found out after it was stolen that Punk cared about it, and that it meant so much to him. And to me, like, them fighting over a friendship bracelet just wasn't what I was looking for. So it's funny, though, because that was voted Feud of the Year, and people really enjoyed the story of that. And I think even they enjoyed the friendship bracelet stuff. I didn't. I really struggled with that story. I didn't even think the matches were that great in that feud. I think the Hell in a Cell match is one of the best Hell in a Cell matches I've ever seen. The end of the feud is fantastic. Drew's work on social media, fantastic. Some of the promos, fantastic. So it was not a bad feud, but doing it on a friendship bracelet, not setting that up properly. The 4-corner match was a bit mids. doing the match where I think, wasn't it Seth that was special guest referee at SummerSlam, which I don't think got a great score from the community at SummerSlam last year. That was a bit mid. There was bits of it that weren't quite right to me. Yeah, I agree. And that was feud of the year. So I don't know. I mean, again, you have to remind yourself not everything is for you. And that one, the friendship stuff bracelet, that just wasn't for me. But there was plenty of people that did enjoy that story. So fair enough, fair play. As I said, not everything is for me, and that's okay. I've learnt that lesson. We are about to get going. Daze, tonight is the night we're going to see Kendal, Kylie. No, Kyle, they're just face-to-face, buds. They're just face-to-face. So tonight's not quite the night that we're going to be seeing it. But they are going to do a face-to-face. We are going to be setting it up tonight. So it'll still be good. But we're not quite there yet. Evolve is up now for people. If you are ready to watch the show, it's available. We will go over to it in a moment. I'm just trying to get it a bit more set up on my screen. Boom. Right, Cody's American Eagle outfit looks exactly like Dexter's Lab, said Akeem. Dexter's favorite action figure, the name of it escapes me. I know Dexter's Lab, it was cartoon, wasn't it? I don't think I saw many episodes, though, to be honest. But I do, if it is the cartoon I'm thinking of, I do remember it. Okay. Yes, lovely. William, hello. Hope you're doing well, my friends. Days, Heroes Immortals on the 17th is the same day as NXT Halloween Havoc. WWE should book Omos more because he needs more matches, said Age Power Car. Well, I'll see if I can fit both in. I mean, obviously, if I got to choose, I'm going to choose NXT, but hopefully they're on at different times. Big Time said, the funny thing is no one is asking for big moments every week. Just sprinkle them every few weeks. Have some variety. I guarantee that Raw SmackDown 2025, a lot of sameness, copied and pasted segments. Well, this is why it's encouraging that they've refreshed those creative teams. That once again gives me some optimism as I head towards 2026. James said, Days, you was born to be a YouTuber. You just never shut up. It is true, isn't it? It is true. It is true. I might have found my calling. If only I was good at it, eh? Days, Evolve pay-per-view on YouTube tomorrow. I might watch it. It's next week, I believe, isn't it? It's Succession. Next week. We're 1 minute away and then we're going to be getting started, kids. 1 minute away and then we're going to be getting started. Days, what about Soul beating Tiffy for the title? Hello, Taker 1990. Don't mind. Honestly, I like Soul a lot. I don't know if it's a bit too soon for her. I don't know if, like, one of the lessons that should be learnt from Tiffany is maybe don't rush so quickly. Certainly with someone like Tiffany, who is not got indie experience. So all of her experience is coming from NXT and the main roster. I mean, she is 3 years in the business and that is it. And it was all spent within NXT or the main roster. And as I said, I think the problem with Tiffany is that she's great talent. She's picked it up really quickly. But what you see is what you get. I don't think there's anything in reserve. I think you've seen her bag of tricks now. If you keep putting her in different situations, putting her in there with different opponents, she is having to learn on the job. That's the problem. She's learning on the job. So, of course, mistakes are going to be made. Of course, they're going to be made. I mean, you've put the belt on her. She's in such a high pressure, big spotlight matches. Like, this girl can't make any mistakes, but she needs to. Like, I do feel sorry for her, actually. I do feel sorry for her. Right, we're underway. Tubi. Okay, I've got the, I've had the Tubi entrance. Now I've got the then, now, forever. Oh, yeah, we're going to find out. Here's Stevie. Okay, unable to compete. I wonder who that replacement's going to be. Do you think it'll be Super Sean Legacy? I wonder if it's going to be Bryce. Succession, next Wednesday. Dun, 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 dun. I'm a G like Kylie. Yes, here we go. I don't know, Ali the Pally. So by the end of the night, we're going to know who's facing Jackson Drake next week. Let's go. Evolve Succession. Next week, we're at the Performance Center in Orlando. We got Choo in the ring. Evolve fam, here we go. History will be made next week. We're calling it Succession, y'all. Hey, y'all. Y'all. That's right, y'all. Well, we're going to start with Kendal, are we? And Kylie. That's right, y'all. Kendal Gray. Mate, her stock has risen so drastically in the past couple of months. You see her all the time, actually, now doing the Wednesday thing. She was on today's Wednesday. Yeah, they've done a brilliant job of building her. Brilliant job. Well, and she's done a brilliant job of building herself as well. I've took all the stock in Tyra May Steele. And I've took all the stock in Kendal Gray as well. I want to see... I don't think we've seen it, have we? Kendal Gray against Tyra May Steele. Okay, Kendal Gray in the ring. Kelly Armstrong about to make her way out. Got to bring out the champ. Where you at, Kylie Armstrong? There she is with her booty. Blimey now. She is looking pretty jacked. Too strong Armstrong then on the edge of the ring. Kendal in there. I think Kendall's the better wrestler, but I think Kylie has got the size. She's explosive as well. She brings some real athleticism. Daze, current Boca Juniors manager, has passed away after a long battle. The folder's still not working on Twitter. I've abandoned them, honestly. I'm just trying to really dig into the new software because the new software is never going to let me down. Okay, let's see how Kendall's promos are going to be. Last week you drew a line. I'm going to break you and take that championship from you. It's okay. I think Kylie's better. Kylie seems better on the mic. Ain't no sunshine and bubbles belong in the ring with a difference maker. That's a great line. You seem like Sunshine and Bubbles, but Sunshine and Bubbles don't belong in a ring with a difference maker. She's got some better lines. I've been doubted my whole life, says Kendal. (61-0), perfect records. I wish she wasn't chewing. Why is she chewing? Are we going to talk resume? Undefeated in singles action. You can't compare. Are those fake crowd noises? I think they are, aren't they? Oh, hello. Okay, I don't mind that end there. Kendal just saying to Kylie. So Kylie was like, I intend to win. And Kendal was like, well, wait until you getting caught in my armbar. Yeah, I think Kylie got the better of that exchange. Kendal was still fine. Fake crowd noises seemingly being added. I found a bit distracting because there was like, ooh, all that kind of stuff. I was like, it was a bit OTT. Certainly when you're looking in the background and people are just sort of sat there like, but that was okay. That was all right. I'm excited for that fight anyway. So, I mean, okay, Wendy Choo against Nikita Lyons tonight. It's Gall! It's Gall! Yeah, man, it's Gall against Dante Chen. Right, Media King said, I checked A&E. Mine is playing court cam. To be Evolve says unavailable. To be Evolve is unavailable, Media King. Are you sure? Try hitting the refresh on it, buds. James said, did you see any of the Sir Jim Ratcliffe interview? He said he was going to give Amarin 3 years to get the chances he believe he can do. I didn't see the interview, but whenever I wake up, the first thing I do is always check the BBC website, not the sex one, but the news one. And I did see that was like a headline on there. Okay, we've got an IKEA advert right now as we go to commercial break. Wrestling Proud said, the champ reminds me of Miss Parker. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that comparison. Seeb said, do you think you're overrated or underrated? I have no idea how I'm rated, honestly. I would have absolutely no idea. It's probably best to just side with overrated, isn't it, really? Long Beach Chippy said, watching Daze from the Dodgers Stadium parking lot. Game 3 starts in 50 minutes. Oh, Long Beach Chippy, shout out to you. Have a great time. We just was chatting with Bones during our member stream. He was joining us from a car as well. Seems like it's a place of choice for the community, hanging out in vehicles. Jaco said, I'm ahead of you. I'm at the first match. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, you can start the stream whenever. We always delay it because I want to make sure we're all trying to kind of watch him roughly at the same time. It's a difficult one to do a watch along for because I get the adverts. So, I mean, I could get the ad blocker in to get rid of those, but I don't know. I don't know if other people watch adverts at the same time I do, or if people have got ad block. I think everyone's a bit different, aren't they? So it is a bit messier, but we do the best we can. Right now, I've got Tate Wilder with Kelly Kincaid. I finally got my hand raised. I proved I have what it takes. Oh, shot from behind. Is that Brooks, is it? Okay, here's its goal. I love its goal. Here's its goal. He's got a medal. He's got a couple of medals. The real life action figure. Mate, you could so put its goal with Matt Cardona. Imagine Matt Cardona being with the real life action figure, its goal. I feel like those two are made for each other. The other thing about its goal is that he doesn't need wins. He's just a fun character. He can lose this. No problem whatsoever. Here's Dante Chen. People love Dante Chen. He's just never quite got going in NXT. Here we go, Dante Chen. The music's so basic, but it works. Da-na-na-na. Smile on his face. Oh. It's Garland back. Okay, I'm down for this. It's weird. I'm in front now by about a minute, said Wrestling Prouds. Okay, here we go. These two locking up. Dante and its goal. Dante chants. Crowd are very much with Dante in this one. So we're already 15 minutes into the show. Dante with a headlock being applied there to its goal. Dante is up its goal. Oh, nice takeover there by... Its goal is still... That's good. Using the legs to get Dante down. Doing some push-ups as well. Sends out get well soon wishes to his workout wingman, Jamar Hampton. Its goal. And now doing push-ups on the back of Dante. Smile on the face of its goal. I tell you, the thing with its goal is he stands out. I mean, like, the real life action figure is a really good nickname. He obviously has got like a bit of an accent. But I love the ring gear. I love the entrance screens. He's got that kind of like Vice City vibe. I feel like the presentation is better than just the generic presentation you see of everyone else. I feel like there is a character there. Okay, its goal is flexing. Dante. Hello, we got a flex off here. Okay, Okay, so right now, it's Carl is showing his guns. No, no, no. He doesn't want Dante to show. No. Why won't he let Dante show? Oh, Dante. Dante just went to show his guns. It's Carl tried to sneak attack. Dante had it scouted. Its goal goes down. Oh, he's ripped, mate. Mate, it's like looking at Rick Rude. Bang. Drop kick there by Dante. It's Gall over against the ropes. Over the other side. Big back body drop. Lovely work. Dante Chen was victorious in his last match against Idris Enofe. It's Gall gets out the ring. Timeout, but Dante comes straight over, grabs him. Chop coming into the throat there by It's Gall. Is looking for a suplex. He's got Dante, edge of the ring. Shot to the midsection. And again, Dante. Good work. Big clothesline. It's Gall in the ring. Dante. Urging It's Gall to get up. Springboard. Oh, down goes It's Gall. Lovely work so far. It's Gall back in the corner. Charging in. Dante up in the air. Bang. Lovely. Discus clothesline. It's Gall. Going for the cover. 2. No joy. What did he say? I've got a pretty ferocious summit, but I didn't hear what he said. Shot to the midsection. I don't mind him talking. I don't mind him shouting out to the crowds. Big boot there by It's Gall. Let me show you the stun drop, he said. I like this. Look at him chatting away to the crowd. Oh, mate, I'm such an It's Gall stan. The stun drop. I don't know what the hell that was meant to be, but he went into an inverted attack. This has gone really badly for It's Gall. 1, 2. No joy. Oh, no joy. Shot coming in there by Dante. And again. Looking to pick up It's Gall. Yep. Inverted atomic drop over against the ropes. Dante. Back elbow. It's Gall goes down. Clothesline by Dante. Gall against the ropes. Picking him up. Driving him down. Dante then in control. It's Gall against the ropes. Dante. Bang. Super kick. Gall goes to the outsides. We're going to get air Dante. Suicide dive. Gets it. Suicide dive there by Dante. They're showing us a replay on that. That was all right. Vice is renewing Dark Side, said David. Yeah, hurts. That's good. I think it's a good series. I'm surprised this match is going as long as it is. Shot coming in there by It's Gall. Seeb said, are you sure you want to do an American version of SmackDown? Won't you be knackered for Crown Jewel? Yeah, we'll do it. It's fine. I think our Crown Jewel stream starts at like 11 and SmackDown will finish at like 3. So by the time I've done the... I might even be able to get the Talking Points video done earlier. There we go. Dante gets the win. So Dante puts It's Gall away. And that match had some fun moments. I don't mind Dante winning. I think It's Gall can weather losses. I think he can take those losses. Evolve needs a mid-card title, said Angel. Beast Mode said, go Dante Chen. Let's get the poll up, shall we? See what you lots thought about that match. There's Dante. Nice. That's a great sign. Says Dante, and it looked like a dragon. You don't normally see signs that good on Raw or SmackDown. Dante in the ring then celebrating his win as we go backstage. Okay, Okay, we've got Tyson and Tyreek. Haven't seen them in a while. Okay, so they're still talking about being with Wes. Okay, there we go. We go to commercial break. Tyson and Tyreek. Steve said, it's golf feels like he could have been in the golden era. Very entertaining, and I love Dante Chen, said Steve. 2 playoff games are on right now. I've got a split screen on my 4K TV, said AB Jobson. AB, shout out to you. Mr. Quake said Wesley is on vacation. I don't know where he's gone. Steve said ECW legend Raven has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Has he? Blimey now. Every day just feels like it brings more awful news, doesn't it? Its goal will be on a new generation era. I think he could have been on a few different eras. I think the good thing about him is that he's got a character, and I think that he can like really do some promos. There can be some fun vignettes. You could have a flipping talk show that you know, you'd be able to theme around that kind of Miami Vice type vibe. Obviously he loves working out. I would really try to dig into his personality a little bit more. I'm really interested to know, is he a good person? Is he a bad person? I think he's a self-centered person. Loves himself. But does he love himself? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad? I don't know. I want to... That's good, isn't it? I want to learn more. I want to know more. I like him. He stands out. Prince Nana against Cappuccino Jones, said Mr. Quake. First Aussie, now Raven, said Mr. Quake. William said, I turned 50 last month. Most men buy a fancy car or they get a trophy side piece. I am eventually going to the Harvard School of Gynecology. Is that the study of vagines? I don't know what a gynecologist does. I think, is that where they look at the vagine? I feel like it's that. You would be great at that job. I think that is your calling. Talking of vagines, here's the Vanity Project. Jackson Drake wants to give each member of the Vanity Project a statue of his likeness. So they're just wondering who is going to be the person that faces Jackson Drake. I wonder, she could give it Bryce, couldn't she? Bryce took out Keanu. The problem solver solved a problem. It's got to be Bryce. Surely she picks Bryce. Okay. There's Bryce. He's got a little smile on his face. It's going to be Bryce. Right, here's Aaron Rourke and Marcus Mathers. They're in action next. Tyson and Tyreek. So, Rourke and Mathers against Tyson and Tyreek. I like these two as well. Mathers, Rourke. Wesley is back, said Angel. Steve said, statue of his likeness. Was he at Vince's birthday? Yeah, he was inspired. Yes, he was inspired. Trini said, I'm going to cut off my hair next week for my 72nd birthday. I've never had short hair before, and I'm curious to see if it feels as liberating as I've heard. Well, Trini, wish you all the best for your birthday. Oh, yeah, Wes is here. Here's High Rise. So Wes is with them. Wes has come out with them. God, where's Lee, man? I just completely forgot about these guys. Daze, I feel like I know all there is to know about penises. I have one. I believe that. Good news, my dog went in for another 3-month checkup and they're lowering her meds dose again. Well, that is good news, Rob. Rob, shout out to you. And Rob, shout out to you as well, saying subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that, bud. Thank you. Trini said 77. 77? You're not 77. I swear I've seen a picture of you, Trini, and you're not 77. I could believe 67, but not 77. Right, Aaron Rourke is starting us off. And I don't know who's Tyson and who's Tyreek. I think this is Tyreek. Yeah, this is Tyreek. Trini said, you said 77. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Daze is definitely 21, said Wrestling Proud. Yeah. That's facts. That's not even up for debate. I've already proven that. I showed my birth certificate on stream and people were stunned. Take over there by Rourke. Tyreek over against the ropes. Coming in. Here we've got Mathers and Rourke. They gained mutual respect at a WWN show in Florida. All right. Who the hell's WWN? WWN. World Wrestling Nuns. World Wrestling Nuggets. Nuggies. Mathers going over. Crossbody gets caught by Tyree. Wesley's been on Evolve more than NXT, said Angel. A. Jobson said, welcome to all my friends. That's what we are here. We're all friends. Rob said, I forgot Evolve even existed. I can understand that. It doesn't really get much promotion out of WWE. Stump coming in. Trini said, I'm the sexiest senior citizen I know. I can own it. Let's go. Hashtag sexy granny. I think most grannies are sexy, to be honest. I think women blossom as they get into their 70s. So you're almost there, Trini. If you are 67, like you say, you're about ready to blossom. Shot coming in there. Tyson in. Down goes Mathers. I'm a low bit of trash talking going on. God, half an hour in already. Daze, you're the Wayne Rooney of YouTube. Yes. Could you imagine if our community was just made up of like sexy grannies? You're telling me that wouldn't be the greatest wrestling community online? Of course it would. Nothing but flipping 67-year-old fit hot old women that can take their teeth out. Mate, come on. Shut up. Amazing. Headlock here by Tyson. Shot coming in there by Mathers. A. Jobson said, Evolve Succession next week. Indeed. Wow, Mathers in a bit of trouble here. Trying to reach over to Rourke. Picking him up, boss man slam. So, you lot said that last match was good 100%. Enjoyed it. James said as long as it's the Norman Reigns woman. She can be in as well, yeah. Daze, is that your category on the hub? I've got several categories on the hub, mate. I've yet to find a category on the hub that isn't my category. I'm into all the kinks. I'm into all the kinks at the same time. Bang, into the corner. Tyreek, tag being made. Here's Rourke. Rourke coming in, clothesline. Down goes Tyreek, back elbow there by Rourke. Ooh, mate, vicious kick. His opulent. He's a 10 out of 10. I wish he would change his ring gear. I find, considering he's so flamboyant, I find his ring gear to be incredibly dull. Knees connect like a meteor. Shoulder up by Tyreek. Jumping over to the outsides. Again to the outside goes Tyson and Tyreek. Rourke. Here's Mathers. They're both in. They're both going to go over the top. Nope. Double suicide dive. I think I'm immediately going to love any wrestler that doesn't do a suicide dive. I feel like everyone does a flipping suicide dive. You lose points if you do a suicide dive to me. Hopefully it's not a category that makes you on the Epstein list. Oh, no. The hub don't have those categories. Yes, it's fine. Bang. Nice. Into a stunner. Rourke. Oh, lands on top. Tyreek. 1, 2. Tyson makes the save. Daze, after the show, you should look for the Sol Ruka pin just after Lola Vice is pinned. Look at the Sol Ruka pin just after Lola Vice is pinned at 13 foot wide. What happens? I don't know why, but as soon as I go to the hub, I get BDSM recommendation stuff. It says it's based on country and video popularity. It seems sus. I think it just goes off your web search history, to be honest, bud. Aaron Rourke climbing up. Here we go. Bah! It's a miss. Tyreek. Bang. Big boot. Side of their heads. Tyreek making the tag. In comes Tyson. We got high-rise chants, you know. Some in the crowd get high-rise. High-rise. And Aaron Rourke is put away. Aaron Rourke is put away. Trini said, oh, okay, well, it's not so sus then. No. It's just based on the filthy stuff that you tend to search on a regular basis. I think the thing is, Trini, I know that you do type into Google, like, James Chadwick BDSM, as you try to find, like, James's OnlyFans. But the problem is, if you put that into Google, when you go on the hub, it will obviously recommend similar content. So what you need to do is, when you go to OnlyFans, search it in their search bar. I don't think then it'll influence the hub so much. So your mistake is putting it into the Google search. You know, when you put in, like, James Chadwick, little pants, whip, nipple clamps, BDSM, that's what's causing the problems. Every time, Trini, you type, and I don't want to embarrass you, but I know you do, put James Chadwick butt plug. Every time you type that into Google, it is influencing other search engines and algorithms. And that's why you're getting the recommendations you're getting. So I know it can be difficult for the elderly to understand how technology works. So hopefully that's helped you out. All part of the service. Rob said, bro, why? Oh, I don't know. Ask Trini. Don't ask me. Ask Trini. James said Trini doesn't need to search for that. Oh, all right. You DM it over. DM it over, yeah? Don't need to go searching for that when the emails are flowing. Nathan said, I was thinking of things to improve the vision. Why not take elements from the Nero? They are kind of the Nero. They are kind of like them already. Why not add Triple H? Like NWO had Bischoff. Add in Triple H to the vision. If you do that, I think you're opening up a massive can of worms. Because if you do that, you are making Triple H part of the story. He is then a heel. You are, and he's the head booker, as we know. So that is then going to have massive repercussions. I feel like if you do that, it's going to be interesting. I definitely agree with that. But are you ready for all the repercussions that come with it? Because I feel like that changes quite a bit. Okay, here's Stevie. Here's Jax. Here's Harley. Okay, they want a rematch. Yeah, I'm down for this match. It was really good. Adrenaline drip against these guys. Oh, if Stone was GM, he would grant this match. Okay, so Stevie's made the match. We're going to do the third match between those two teams. They've been good matches. Okay, here's Wendy Choo. Is this our main event? Probably. But we still need to find out who is going to be the challenger for next week at Succession. Now, this is Wendy Choo, and Wendy Choo is different. She's chatting away now. She's still coming out to the same music. She has become different. She's still coming out, though, to the same music. She's still got the same ring gear. Okay. I don't know what to expect from this match. Wendy Choo against Nikita Lyons. Right. Daze, let me catch you up. James is Hubs. Sonny is Wifey. William is all of our side pieces. Got you. Got you. I think I was a bit behind. Okay, here's Nikita. Nikita Lyons making her way down to the ring. Big Cat Keita. I mean, look, she's got a good size to her. She's got a good size. Okay, Wendy over in the corner. Main event. She's got the size advantage here, isn't she? I mean, look at the size difference between these two. Massive size difference between these two. Nikita straight in, driving Wendy back to the corner. Wendy coming over, locking up. Nikita's going to win the power. Of course she is. Wendy using the ropes to climb up. Ooh, she takes Nikita over. Wendy looking over at Nikita. Wendy going over, grabbing a leg. Wendy goes for a kick. When Nikita. That ref is smoking hot, said AB. Okay, spoke for the first time on Evolve 3 weeks ago. Keeping Nikita grounded at the moment. Nikita, we're both down on the floor. Nikita's keeping Wendy down. Wendy's going to try and handstand her way out of this. Nice. Wendy got out and she was like, meow. Wow. That's like my favourite part of the show so far. She manages to get out of that holds, looks over at Nikita, goes, meow. Wendy against the ropes, round the back, crucifix, gets it. Nope, just a 1 count. Big single leg drop kick there by Wendy. Nikita back up on her feet. Oh, slamming her down, Nikita down. This is a match that, you know, we would have seen on NXT not long ago. It's like a senton, wasn't it, there, that she kind of just chucked herself down on top of Nikita. Nikita gets back up to her feet, though, over in the corner. I think Stevie is as good as PM or GM. PM. William said, please don't put James Chadwick butt plug into your search bar. Trust me. I do trust you. Listen, if you get a warning from William Hensey, you listen to that warning. Wendy Choo on the outsides. Daze, do we think creative can be worse as what we've had? Yes. Yes, I think it can be worse, Asib. I mean, 1995 was worse. I think 2019 was worse than this year. I think there are shining lights this year, like EO has been a shining light this year. What we're doing at the moment with some of the stories have been a shining light this year. You know, Cena, since he turned back face, has been good. So I think there are things that have been good this year. The R-Truth promo where he cut his hair, that was good. AJ Lee coming back, that's been good. So there's definitely some stuff that's gone down this year that has been decent. And plus, the Cena heel turn was good. The run might not have been good, but the heel turn was good. Okay, Nikita doing like the splits and then smashing her buttocks into Wendy. Oh my God, she's using her ass again. Suplex there by Nikita. 1, 2. I think Nikita uses her ass a bit too much as a weapon. Okay, right now we've got a camel clutch. Camel clutch is in. Stomping down. Wendy goes down. Oof. Oh. Wendy turned around, got her knees up. That was right in the cooch. Chop coming in there by Wendy. Kick coming in by Wendy. Oh, right in the boobs. Against the ropes goes Wendy. Clothesline. Down goes Nikita. Double axe handle. Nikita back up. Nikita Lyons putting in a lot of work here. You got to respect that. Take over. Nikita goes over against the ropes. Wendy on her feet. Wendy looking over at Nikita. Cartwheel into a forearm. Over the other side. Big boot. Connects. Nikita, middle of the ring. Wendy up. Crossbody. Nikita goes down. 1, 2. No joy. Just a 2 count. We've still got to find out who is going to be the opponent for Jackson Drake next week. Evolve Succession next week. Big Evolve show next week. Wing Clipper. No. Reversed by Wendy. 1, 2. No joy. Nikita up, coming in. Boot to the midsection. Looking good. Double underhooks. Picks up. Oh. Little sloppy, but Wendy kicks out. Little sloppy. Match continuing. Nikita showing a bit of frustration. Nikita going over, grabbing Wendy. Looking to get her up on her shoulders. Elbows coming in there by Wendy. Duck underneath. Grabbing Nikita. Nikita struggling. Going back to the corner. Charging it back. Big boot. Wendy climbing up. And slam down. Nikita goes over to the corner and Vader bomb misses. Wendy coming in, rolling up. Nikita, dirt nap. Dirt naps in. Nikita taps. There we go. Nikita taps. It's a win for Wendy Choo. Different Wendy Choo, but same results. So, there we go. It is a win for Wendy Choo. I really liked our opening match. There was parts of this match that were interesting. I think I was anticipating a drop with how good 2023 was going into 2024. I kept thinking WWE has hit a low point because this is good. I wasn't wrong, said Trini. Okay, we're waiting to get this announcement. Wendy Choo then picks up the victory in the ring. In our main event, we're going to go... Here's Brooks Jensen. You represent the reason why I hate Evolve. Are we doing Brooks Jensen next week against Tate Wilder? Succession should be my showcase, said Brooks. Good news. Okay. So they are both having a match on Succession. Tate Wilder, Brooks Jensen. That'll be okay. Next week, Tate Wilder, Brooks Jensen. Bull rope match. Oh, that's good. A bull rope match. Right, okay. Vanity Project are about to make their way to the ring. Jackson Drake is going to find out who his opponent is going to be. Keanu Carver out injured. I think it's going to be Bryce Donovan, but they could be a main roster star or something, or an NXT star, just to give it a bit of a boost, get people to tune in. Daze, will you do a video at the end of the year of matches and moments? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I have not thought that far ahead. You know me, I just work on a week-by-week basis. Bryce gives Batista vibes, said Mr. Quake. This is my favourite day of the week, and it's beyond Evolve, says Nathan. Here's Vanity Project. Oh, commercial break. Goddamn commercial break. Glockner said LFG. No, this isn't LFG, buds. This isn't LFG. This is Evolve. LFG has just finished their second season. Steve said Bull Rope Brooks. That could be the next gimmick for next week. Bull Rope Brooks. 2019 does suck, except for Kofi Mania, said Mr. Quake. Trini said that's a good way of using all the voting and the matches to see what the highest rated was. Yes. The problem I have is I just don't have much spare time in the week to kind of compile all of that. I think Wrestle with Andy was like, put it all into AI, but it's like, I don't know how much you can trust AI at the moment. Here's Jackson Drake making his way down to the ring with the Vanity Project then. Is Stevie already in the ring? Hello, who's that guy? He's having a few words with Jackson. Yeah, we got a table in there already. Okay, the contract's in there. There's a table in there. Where's Stevie? Is he going to just open the contract and it's going to show him the name? How was this going to work? Okay, here we go. We all saw this coming. The #1 Vanity Project hater, Stevie Turner. Yeah. Who we got? I don't know how they're doing this. Super Sean Legacy is coming out. So is that who it's going to be? It's going to be Super Sean Legacy. Okay. It's not who I was expecting. I really was expecting Bryce. I was adamant it was going to be Bryce. This started on the Indies. They suck. People in the crowd are like, they suck. Right. Excuse me. When I beat Jackson Drake. Oh! Idris. Idris is attacking. Bam! Mate. He just went hard into that screen. Idris Enofe marking Super Sean Legacy. That sucks. Bye, Sean. Bye, Sean. Heartbreak Drake. No more hondos. There is no next challenger. Okay. Next week. Yeah. We're going to have a vanity project appreciation. Well, that sounds great. Where's our Prime Minister? Our Prime Minister needs to fix this. I mean, I am down for an appreciation night, but... Undefeated on the dating apps. Swipe left chance breakout. I hope he's got some nice words for Bryce. Did he just not acknowledge Bryce? Bryce grabbing the contracts. Kick his ass. Someone went, kick his ass. For once in your life, shut the hell up. Crowd are like, yeah! You are all the worst human beings. He's done. Let's go. Bryce is leaving Vanity Projects. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Bryce. He's done. He's out. Sign the contract, Bryce. Oh, mate, he said that. 10 toes down, didn't he? Here's swipe right. They're going after Bryce. Bryce is dealing with them. So it is going to be Jackson Drake against Bryce through the table. Bang. That was done so well. That was really done well. I'm looking forward to this match. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Bryce. He's picking up the contracts. Grabbing the pen. Signing the contract, and the match is made. Succession next week. Goods. Wrestling Proud said LFG. Okay, so next week, Evolve, Succession, Bull Rope match. Brooks Jensen takes on Tate Wilder. Also, we've got Kylie Armstrong against Kendal Gray. And of course, we got Bryce against Jackson Drake. So a bull rope match, 2 championship matches, stacked Evolve. Next week, the biggest episode of Evolve, probably since the debut. There's Bryce. Evolve success. Great. Really good. Really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. I thought the ending was really strong. Right, let's close this down. That was a great choke slam. I'm looking forward to one match at Crown Jewel. I want to see 90% of Bound for Glory, and that says it all, said Trini. Vanity Project are so douchey, they have got dual sponsorship with Messengil and Summer Eve, said Rob. James said, Daze, what show are you looking forward to the most this weekend, Crown Jewel or Bound for Glory? I think I'm most looking forward to Crown Jewel, but I think Bound for Glory stands a chance of being the better show. I think I'm probably most looking forward to Crown Jewel because, well, we watch WWE obviously week in, week out. I think the Seth story is really interesting, so I'm really down for that match. John Cena, AJ Styles is the match I was hoping to see this year. I didn't think I was going to see this year. So really down for that match. I think the Asuka Kylie story has been really good. So genuinely down for that match. To be honest, the only match that I'm not bothered by is Stephanie Tiffany. That's the only match that, like, if I miss, I won't care. Even Roman Bronson, which we've seen before, but, you know, that now being a street fight, I'm kind of like, I mean, it's Roman. Do you know what I mean? And it's Bronson from Australia. I mean, I think the crowd are going to be with Roman, but I'm not 100%. What with it being in Australia where Bronson's from, I think the fans will be with Roman. I think Roman's aura is too big, but it could be a little split, actually. So I'm interested to see the crowd reaction on that. So, yeah, I honestly, I think Crown Jewel as a card looks not bad. I just don't care for Stephanie Tiffany. But Bound for Glory looks really, really good as well. I mean, Leon Slater against Javon Evans, brilliant. Trick against Mike Santana, brilliant. I think the bit that I'm struggling with when it comes to Bound for Glory is I don't know the full card off the top of my head. And obviously I've not seen the build for it. So I'm more excited for Crown Jewel, but I could believe Bound for Glory being the better show. Hardy's Team 3D, of course. Kalani against Indy, I actually didn't know was happening. Tessa Gia. Now, I watched the TNA show. Was it Slammiversary where she attacked that Gia girl? So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Gauntlet match. House of the Elegance brand taking on the Inspiration. Great. Love the Iconics. Leon Slater, Javon. Lovely. Gauntlet match. Lovely. Tessa Gia. Not crazy about Tessa, but I like that Gia girl. I'm interested in her. She's got that thick southern accent, hasn't she? I like it. System against Order 4. That doesn't mean anything to me. Kalani against Indy, great. Hardest Team 3D, great. Trick against Mike Santana, great. Frankie Kazarian, Steve Macklin. Probably one for the TNA purists. So, 9 matches. I would say there's probably 6 there that I'm interested in, like really interested in. But yeah, I mean, look, Leon Slater, Javon, if you told me come Monday that was the best match of the weekend, I would believe you. I'd believe you. I think Trick Mike Santana's going to be amazing as well. So, yeah, it's brilliant. I think it's the best looking TNA card I've personally ever seen. It's just going to be a great weekend, isn't it? It's just going to be a great weekend. The Bound for Glory pre-show starts at 11. It's up on Triller now. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be great. I hope it's a big, big success for TNA. They deserve it. I think they've done, their talent has done great work. I think the relationship with NXT has been good. I know that yesterday wasn't necessarily what we were looking for, but it doesn't matter. I think it was Brady that said by next week, well, not even that. I mean, by today, we've all just forgotten about it, Some people really enjoyed it. I thought it was a bit off, but, Who cares? On we go. Crown Jewel this weekend. Bound for Glory this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of action. The only downer, of course, is that for Crown Jewel, you got to get up early. Not so much in the UK, but certainly in America. I can't wait for Bound for Glory. No secret, my love for TNA, said James. Yes, it's going to be good. Right, there we go. Really appreciate everyone joining us that joined us. I thought the show was okay tonight. I really enjoyed the opening match. Nikita, Wendy had some moments. Tyson, Tyreek, that match in the middle I wasn't as engaged with, but I really liked the ending of Evolve tonight. I thought that was really good. And obviously, we get our reward next week as we really are heading towards a pretty tasty show. Of course, Evolve Succession should be really, really good. So, yes, I'm going to run away, start working on Unseen and, you know, keep getting ready for this weekend. I've still got to get streams set up and do research and sort out the members quiz for tomorrow. So I'm going to run away. But a big thank you to everyone that joined us. Really appreciate the support as always. Hope you had a good time. And yeah, I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.